How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the podcast right here at Celestia Radio. It is your host, Matthias, back as usual. You're probably not getting rid of me. And I'm here with my two co-hosts, the very wonderful and very fantastic Dolit and Nat. What's up, guys?
G'day, everyone.
Hey, good to be back.
That seemed like the fakest excitement I've ever heard out of you, Dolit. Are you sure?
Are you
Sure
alright,
you're
buddy?
glad to be back?
I'm plenty happy to be back. It's just a gray, overcast day, and my energy levels they're just not quite as high as usual.
Man, those days
Fair.
are the days that I usually end up with energy.
Oh no, my energy
No.
dips. I love them to pieces. My creative, juices get flowing, but my ability to act upon them very much does not.
Man,
that's
when the
weird.
sun's not there to drain my energy, it feels fantastic.
Okay,
Yes,
vampire, calm down.
This is a good day. I'm a ginger. I'm basically a vampire. It's how that works. But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, how are you guys? You guys doing good? Other than the overcast day on Darlington.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
alright.
contrary to how I sound, it's a fine day. Very little had to get done. So, just a little bit of work, a lot of teching, lots of chilling.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I actually kind of forgot this was podcast day. I thought I was still on Sunday. So that's where I am mentally.
He does not know.
Wow.
He does not know that I also had this happen.
Yeah, it's both of you tonight. Jeez.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a Monday right now for me. So yeah,
I'm starting to think if I hadn't hopped into the call, like you guys both would have just
honestly, yeah, because I
Correct.
was actually kind of planning on streaming like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, and I was going to go lay down and fall asleep. So it is genuinely such a good thing
I
that
was like, what
something
the
said,
fuck?
check Discord really quick before you close it.
Yeah.
well, listeners, I care about you guys. I haven't
Hey,
forgotten about
we
you guys.
care. We care. It's just, there's
All
other
right.
aspects going on.
We all have off days.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we do. I am the king of off days. So, I do have something I want to ask. But before that, I want to tell a little fun story to kind of follow something we were talking about. I think it was last week. I mentioned that I had started watching Fallout, and I've been watching Fallout, and it made me want to go play Fallout.
Yes, you did
Uh-huh.
mention this.
So I was like, man, I'll think about picking them up, going and playing them, whatever. So it was the day after we did that recording. I opened up Steam, and I was like, literally just clicked open Steam, and front page, first thing, Fallout 4 on sale, and I'm like, okay.
Bruh,
So I
you're
clicked.
FBI agent, I swear to God.
So I
Like,
clicked
they're
on it,
listening.
and I was just like, all right, save this to my wish list. Let me, because it's not the one I was going for. Let me go to the Fallout series, and then there was Fallout 3 on sale. All right, save that to my wish list. Just in case I decide I want to play Fallout 3 at some point in the future, whatever. And I was looking, and I'm like, man, I can't find New Vegas. Why can't I find New Vegas? I'm like, is New Vegas not on Steam? So I went and manually searched Fallout New Vegas, and turns out I already owned it.
Amazing. Unsurprising mind. But still, what a show
don't-
that must have been.
Yeah, I don't remember when I picked up New Vegas on my PC, but apparently I did.
I genuinely would have been more surprised at this point if you didn't have it.
Yeah, honestly.
Fair. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I already have that. Looked over at Fallout 4 and 3 on sale and picked up Fallout 4 and 3 because it was only like $5 a piece. So I was just like, all right, well, now I have the set, so we're good. I probably wouldn't go play a Fallout older than 3, so I'm not really worried about those. But there's my fun story. So now I have most of the quote unquote modern Fallout games that I can now play when I'm done watching Fallout.
Yeah.
Which I am not done watching because I watch stuff slow. Well, I watch live action stuff slowly.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Can't wait for you to install 200 plus sex mods for Fallout. That's gonna be fun.
No,
Nah,
Oh.
no.
Oh, Why not? That's what you do with Bethesda games.
That's what most of the internet does. You might be correct, sir. It's not what I do.
I'm one of them.
I know. And no one was surprised.
I mean, frankly, yeah, that's fair.
We love you, Nat.
Hey, I just like hot women in my video games, okay?
I mean,
Yeah.
fair. Yes.
Yep.
I don't think Fallout's that game.
No.
Most of the things in Fallout look ugly for a very good reason.
And the other
have you
ones
seen the
do
Death Claws?
because, you know, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Regardless. Go on, Matt. What were you saying?
I don't know. I'm kind of waiting for more on that as well. What?
Oh, fucking Death Claws with tits mods and all that.
So as our editor, I'm gonna have my hands full.
So I am even more convinced that the internet was a mistake.
You know,
So
yeah, it gets like that. And most
the internet was a
certainly does.
mistake. You know what wasn't a mistake?
Hmm.
Final Fantasy 14. That wasn't a mistake.
I don't know.
It was a mistake.
Community.
1.0? Maybe.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Look, 1.0 burned. 1.0 burned, so 2.0 on could thrive.
And thrive it shall. A bunch of new information came out yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we wouldn't get the super awesome like origin story that 14 has if 1.0 didn't burn. It would just be another really good MMO came out on the market. Whoop-de-doo. No, we had like a tragic backstory that built up into the amazing story that is what is currently the biggest MMO on the market. So, I don't know, man. I think 1.0 was overall a good thing for it.
Yeah, try telling that to Yoshi P in front of his face. I think he would disagree.
100% would. 100% would.
No, I think Yoshi would be on board. I think it'd be more interesting to tell it to the last Square Enix CEO, though. I think he might have some words for you.
Yeah, that's true.
That might be true. That might be true. Well, hey, there's gonna be more people playing 14 as a new expansion comes out. Look, Connor has to play it, so
yeah, that's interesting.
He's gonna fucking hate it.
He's
gonna hate it.
Certainly not gonna like A Realm Reborn. I'd be rather disappointed if he didn't like Heavensward. I'm, only incredibly biased about that, but I do fancy Heavensward quite a bit.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It is true that Final Fantasy VIII is the only Final Fantasy game he has played, right?
No. He has played 8, 7.
Oh yes, he did play 7. I remember seeing that stream.
Hasn't he done some of 9 at this point?
I think he played 9 as well at this point, because I remember I think when he was talking with Pete, he liked 9. I think when he was talking with Pete at some point, they mentioned 9. I think. I don't remember. He's at least played 8 and 7. He's also played Chrono Trigger?
Yep.
The first one. Yeah. Chrono Trigger. Yeah. So yeah, he's been diving into those, and it's really cool to see somebody who didn't play those like back in the day, like play them now and really enjoy them. It's been a very enjoyable like story arc to watch.
He's still gonna hate 14. I'm calling. He's gonna do the thing where he's like, oh yeah, no, the game's good, but realistically, he's not enjoying at least for Realm Reborn.
Well, I mean, it seems to be, according to everyone who's been speaking, that both Mouse and Pete play. So there's a very good chance he has a better time of it than you think, for no other reason than he has people to do it with. And that makes any game better. Doesn't make any game good, but it makes any game better.
It makes it bearable, yeah.
Hey Connor, if you somehow hear this, come onto the cast and let us try and convince you to play past Realm Reborn. We'll try to talk you into it live.
Leave the man alone.
But no, I do hope he enjoys it. And even if he doesn't, I could care less. He raised $1 million for charity. That's
He did such
so
a good
awesome.
job, man.
Yeah.
That's
It's
so cool.
amazing. The 14 thing is just a fun joke that he ended up putting it on himself, and now it's happening. So I'm gonna play along into it, but especially as a 14 fan. So, but yeah, we did get some 14 information. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we got any like really super critically interesting information. It was like some smaller quality of life stuff, I think, is the majority of what we got. But we did get the benchmark, and that's really cool.
Yeah, that's the only big news in quotation marks that we got as of right now.
Which is big enough for
Is
me.
it-
I mean, you see
Well,
so
yeah,
much in that benchmark. So
Well, exactly right, because they show off the new abilities. So it's like
At
that's
least
when
one new ability.
Dark Knight got 2 new fucking abilities in that benchmark, let me tell you.
So I'm not super sure about that.
Yeah, no, come on, Matt. Are you serious?
I think it's just the one ability we saw.
No,
I think the other might just be an animation update.
That might be the case, but still.
I genuinely hope that's the case. I seem to be... it's 50-50 depending on who I talk to. I think there are too many goddamn buttons in this game. So
Yeah,
I'd like to
especially
see
for
more
Dark Knight,
skills.
fuck no.
Yeah, I'd like to see more skills upgraded than I would like to see more new skills.
So, like I watched, like I did a lot of this just earlier today, right? I watched the trailer. I ran my own benchmark today. And then I like slow-mo, like frame by frame the trailer as well. I think the first like job that we see anything for was Paladin, and it was like some kind of conal AoE.
Yeah, it looks like a front-facing cone.
Oh no, I'm going too far ahead. The first thing we saw was Gunbreaker, and that was an AoE as well. And that, when you frame by frame it, if Happy hadn't like explained like what the animation before was, I wouldn't have known because I haven't played Gunbreaker a whole lot. But it's one of their AoE animations, so it looks like their new whatever it was like a 2-part to that AoE, so like some kind of AoE combo was what Happy put out into the air, and I mean it makes sense. AoE combos are very much a thing. So
Right.
what did they show after that? I think after that it was Dragoon summoning Nidhogg to just like eat something,
again.
which was that was cool.
It was metal. It absolutely was.
Yeah, totally forgot that Dragoons were getting like a complete rework with this expansion.
See, you say that, but didn't Yoshi P say that we're taking it a little bit easy on this expansion for jobs, or am I fucking crazy?
I've never heard that.
I don't remember hearing it, so.
And I've heard a lot of people mention that Dragoon's getting a rework.
Well, if Dragoon is getting a rework, they're fucking good.
There's supposedly like 2 jobs confirmed getting reworks this expansion, and Dragoon's one of them.
Please, I'm begging.
Not counting the rework Summoner gets every expansion. That's just
that's just a perk of the expansion, guys.
That's just perk of playing fucking Summoner.
This is how we give you more content. Relearn Summoner again.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not so bad this time. I imagine that they found a winning formula. With Endwalker, I can't imagine they fucked with it for a little while as everyone comes to grips with it. I say that it's been a couple of years.
So I have thoughts on the Summoner thing. But since I'm trying to talk about the animations that were shown in order, I'll kind of do it by role instead. So yeah, it was Paladin got like a conal AoE that Happy I heard, because I watched like what Happy thought about all the animations and stuff too. He thought it was a like an AoE upgrade to Requiescat. So I'm like, okay, that would make sense. It would just take Requiescat and replace it with like a AoE version of the skills, like a little bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've had skills do that. So I'm like, okay, sure, that makes sense. And the animation's a little bit flashier than base Requiescat. Gunbreaker, they showed us some kind of
thing.
Yeah, Requiescat got the paladin
Oh,
thing.
I thought because you said something about summoner, and I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for summoner abilities, and you started.
No,
saying,
I said I'll say something about Summoner when I get there.
oh, okay. Apparently, I
Yeah,
didn't hear the fucking last bit, but yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptical of that paladin ability. Because visual effects can be deceiving. But you know, if they bring back cone AOE's for whatever reason, man, warriors are gonna be pissed.
Well, we saw like three different things with Conal AoEs in this trailer. It looked like.
Did we? Because I only
Yeah,
saw the one. Again, I need to rewatch it and do it myself and slow it
it
down
was
and all
three.
that.
It was at least two because Samurai had something that was Conal as well.
Um, didn't Samurai also get delegated back down to AoEs and no kernels? Am I crazy? Or do they still have the kernel attack?
I don't remember.
I don't play that class.
I haven't touched my Samurai in a little bit, so I don't remember.
Okay. I mean, good, but okay, yeah, fair.
Like I have played it since the expansion, and so not too long ago, but it's been a couple months since
Yeah,
I've really
because
played it.
that's
So
why I'm like, wait, didn't I mean I remember Samurai and kernels, but I don't remember if they got brought down with Warrior for turning kernels into AoEs now.
I think it was changed from a conal to like a point blank AoE, so like just anybody anything like directly in front of it kind of thing.
Right.
I'm not sure. Um but yeah, so there was like that new flashy conal looking thing we saw for Paladin. Gunbreaker had a cool stab the ground things explode. Dark Knight had the dark cross slash thing, which was kind of dope.
Mm-hmm.
The thing you think is a second skill, I'm fairly sure was just an animation update.
It could be a move ability, weapon skill upgrade, but you know, if my level
Like
$100 skill,
I don't even so much think it's a skill upgrade. I think it literally is an animation just got touched up because they
you
do
think
that
so?
sometimes. I mean, they've done it before, and they don't usually like outright mention it, but they do sometimes touch up animations because it's very, very similar to another animation they have, but just a little bit flashier. So I'm like, it could be a skill
Oh,
upgrade, but I think it's
I
just an animation update.
look. I'm just saying, if my level 100 skill is a fucking weapon skill or ability upgrade, I'm going to be pissed. I don't want my new shiny thing
Probably
just
what
like
most
everyone is.
everybody will have for most of the stuff they get, and then if anybody gets any new abilities, it'll probably be their hundreds. Their
Mhm.
hundreds will probably be the only new ability anybody gets, I imagine. If anybody gets new abilities, like new buttons,
Right.
and not just straight upgrades. Um, and then Warrior got some kind of like defensive animation thing, which I've seen a lot of mixed stuff. Some people are like they think it's this. Some people think it's this. Like, and then some people think it was just made to look like that for trailer
Yeah,
shenanigans.
that's where I am. Yeah, because
I'm in
initially
that same
it
group.
looks like it's some kind of like warrior version of the paladin wings, but there was no extra VFX to show like defense from behind. It just looks like they put on a shield and ran in front of an AoE.
Yeah, it very much. That's kind of the camp I'm in as well. I think they just got some kind of new animation to one of their defensives, and then for the trailer had them thrown in front for trailer shenanigans or whatever. But I mean, we don't know. It's all speculation, right? Just kind of off of what you see.
Hmm.
And then let's see, was it Dragoon had the Nidhogg,
Very cool.
uh, Monk. I like it was cool looking, whatever it did, but also it was like so quick and like kind of in between two flashy things going on. Really kind of hard to tell what's happening with that one. Um, so I mean, I don't really know what to make of it, but it had something that looked kind of cool. Yeah, I really can't say much about it because you can't really tell what's happening there super well.
I mean, Monk is a small fair, so you know I don't blame you.
Reaper had a cool like AoE like claw thing that seemed to be at the end of their shrouded thing when they
It looked
merged with their void
amazing.
scent.
But
It looked
honestly,
really good.
everything Reaper does looks really cool.
It really does. Ninja got. I'm going to say this as somebody who, when I was playing last, I was leveling my ninja, and I was really enjoying ninja. The new thing they showed for ninja was like an upgrade to the Hellfrog medium.
Okay, cool. It's like, did they get another frog?
It was like some kind of upgrade to that. Because the frog looked like it had some like armor and stuff on that it didn't before, and the explosion was like blue fire and a little bit bigger. Yeah, Hellfrog medium is the least interesting skill in Ninja's kit to me, and I just snooze on it every time. Like when I'm playing Ninja, I'm just like, I use this because it's part of my rotation. I have no joy or excitement using it. It's just that's the one skill that just does not interest me in Ninja's kit.
Unlike fucking
Like-
Ninja using Chidori and all that shit.
Like the other stuff, the things that people are like, oh, it's Chidori or whatever. Like that's fine. It's their ninjutsu elemental stuff. Cool. Sure, you know what? I get that with the fireballs or the giant shuriken and things like that. I don't know. The frog thing is just weird to me. I'm just like I don't get why the frog ninja association is a thing. Like I know it's a thing in Naruto, but I don't really remember this ever being a thing outside of that. But maybe
poison, tipping your fucking weapons in poison.
Are there-
and all that
There are
shit.
no poison dart frogs in Japan.
as I was about to say, are there any
not?
poisonous frogs native to Japan?
Maybe there are, but I do not think that is where that comes from.
I mean, I ain't Japanese. I don't live in Japan, and I didn't live back in those days. So I have no idea, but that's my guess, is to poison their weapons.
Maybe.
I mean, there was a lot of like poisoning happening in back in those days. You know, you poison
Oh, 100%,
foods, water,
100%.
all that shit, right? So, but like, you know, where does that poison come from? It's usually either fungi or fucking animals.
Definitely animals. I mean, there are definitely some like poisonous fish that I could see them doing stuff for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Though that said, aren't frogs associated with Jiraiya? Not the Naruto character. Stop. Isn't the reason he's
I was literally
associated
about
with
to go
frogs
there.
because of the folktale?
I'm
big
not
magic
super familiar
frog?
with. I'm not super familiar with that particular folktale. I will admit, but that might be why. You know, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, so that's what Ninja was shown. I didn't see anything else from Ninja that looked new. I was really it. I think it was happy that said, you know, if the Hellfrog medium's getting upgraded, the Balaclava or the other one's probably getting updated too.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, I mean, that might be cool because I think that current animation for that skill is kind of mild compared to everything else Ninja does, and it's like a big hitting skill for Ninja. So it would be interesting to see what that gets like made flashier in any way. That's all the melee, right? Dragoon,
Yeah, let's talk about
Ninja.
Bard. Go on, Dollar. Talk about Bard.
I don't want to. Bard animations suck.
Don't you just
Like,
love
no one
when
hates Bard more
pulls
than
back
me.
the arrow for an animation?
Like, I'm so tired of it. It's like I genuinely don't know what to say. Like, I recognize they have a bow and an
I know what to
arrow.
say about Bard.
Yeah.
I know what to say about Bard.
It's boring
Yeah,
as
go
sin.
on.
That bow was super cool.
Oh my god. He's
I'll have to look at it again because I'm routinely underwhelmed with the aesthetic of Bard and its animations. But the class
The
is
bow-
brain dead, and it's why I play it.
The bow is literally a guitar.
Creative
Yeah,
Business
that's also
Division
my
Unit
reaction.
3. Hear me out, right? Can I have one expansion where we lean into Archer again and we just move away from Bard for an expansion? Just one. I really want some cool stuff that isn't so focused around Bard, completely forgetting the fact that it is a ranged DPS class.
But it has Bard in the name. You have to do music
And that's the
and
problem,
shit.
is they attached Bard to Archer, and so Bard has to supersede it all of the time. You're not allowed just to be a cool Archer guy. And to be fair, we do a lot of pulling the bow back and firing the arrow. I want something that feels cool. They took away not Rain of Death. Wide Volley. That was the coolest fucking animation we had. And we've never gotten anything back that wasn't just, and we pull back on the string and let go. It's like, okay.
Whoa, hold on your horses there, buddy. Don't forget you gotta channel up your bow first and then knock it back, your arrow, and then fire.
I want something cool. If I play this game again, there's a very good chance I go to Dancer, because as zesty as that class is, they're doing some cool things. So,
speaking of Dancer, the Dancer animation that was shown, I was certain was a skill that was already in the game, but everybody says it's new, so I'm just like, okay, if you say so. I guess it's like a upgrade to something they already have. Because I mean, man, did it look like something they already have? Because I literally thought, I was like, oh, did they not show anything new for Dancer? So I don't know. I had to watch the Machinist one with when Happy was going over it for me to make out that it was actually a new animation being shown.
Yeah, they showed a fucking circular saw. It was awesome.
Well, like, apparently, like, the chainsaw skill in the game currently uses something very similar in its animation.
Yeah, but what made this special? This was the circular saw.
Yeah, circular saw, and it was
but I thought it was the same thing. But even to what I was familiar with,
it's different.
This is different from that. Yeah,
it's
after having somebody like explain what was going on and watching it. So yeah, I was like, okay. So yeah, no, they got some kind of like Chainsaw 2, I guess. Thumbs up. I don't know what they're calling it. For healers, they showed like a new AoE something for Sage. Looked like something on the enemy. I don't know Sage's animations very well. I literally unlocked the job and then never touched it. So
a lot of AoE set off global cooldowns with that fucking job, which is great.
So I mean, I don't know what their like DPS skills look like or whatever. So I'm just like, I couldn't tell you anything about it, but it was some kind of AoE that looked like it was on the enemy. White Mage and Astro both showed some kind of
AoE thing.
AoE team.
It's either a buff or a heal. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Or maybe both. Oh, we're finally mixing something up with healers now. It does both.
White Mage and Astro both had like different things. The Astro one was very pretty. Astro animations have always been very pretty.
Yeah, this is true.
When you're dabbling in stars and celestial shit, it does get pretty.
It's why I love Astro, even though I don't heal. I love Astro just because I never get tired of watching its animations. And to be fair, most of White Mage's newer animations have been in that same group of I never get tired of looking at them. Right. This one was very pretty, but yeah, couldn't tell you anything about it. It definitely looked like the effect of it on the like allies, on the players. It looked very much like the one of the like animations we had in Shadowbringers that was very associated with Sin Eaters. So I was just like, it's a little weird seeing it like this, but that's just where my brain associated the like swirling white around us that we had for a moment.
Sure. Right.
So, but I thought that was just kind of funny. I guess they're just kind of like repurposing that a little bit. So for Scholar, I got semi-excited when I saw Scholars at first, because I didn't see like, because the scholars was like they were kind of like from behind the character, so I didn't really see exactly what it was the character was wearing to see if it was like the summoner or scholar garb. All I saw was the book and the animation at first, and I was like, oh, that's got like the like bluish white and gears. Is it Alexander? Is Summoner getting something Alexander themed?
Nah, there's
That's
fairies in
super
there.
cool. Yeah, and then frame by frame slowed it down. I saw the fairy floating right there next to it. And I'm like, oh,
How dare you get
this is
excited for a healer class, specifically
yeah.
Scholar.
I was like, oh, this is just a scholar thing. I'm like, man, I was like, bro, Alexander stuff. Let's go. No, that's something scholarly.
No,
I
Final
guess.
Fantasy XIV classes are too tied into their identity, their theming currently. They don't adjust for it. It's why Dragoon is still pulling from Nidhogg when we have met every other dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would do something different than
They
Nidhogg.
need,
Like,
especially with this being the whole new start expansion. I'm super disappointed that we're still leaning into all of the same visual language that we've been doing for the past 10 years.
here's the thing. I realize like part of the reason we have the Nidhogg thing is because they like have to share our animations with
Estinian. Yeah.
But we have a much bigger connection to Midgardsormr than we do Nidhogg.
True.
Which is why our limit which is why the limit break 3 for them for Dragoons has the like Nidhogg Midgardsormr like head above us kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I think the like one of the I think it's the blue like thrust attack they do that's like a forward AoE. I think that
Are you talking
is
about the twin-headed red and white spinning together?
yeah, that. I think those are Midgardsormr shaped heads. I
Yeah,
think.
honestly, that should have been Nidhogg and Hraesvelgr, in my
Agreed.
opinion.
Yeah, that would have been much better.
And it might be. I've never looked that closely. I just so many of their abilities are so obviously Nidhogg coded.
Yeah.
Right.
That I just don't bother looking closer because I don't need to.
I mean, literally just look at fucking Heavensward, Blood of the Dragon, and then...
Well, no, Heavensward is one time where I think it was fine.
Because
Yes, but it was... I forgot what it was, but it was...
And yeah, it would have been fine. It would have been really nice to have some
maybe it was
stuff.
Stormblood. I think it was Stormblood when it first started, actually, with the whole Nidhogg thing. Yeah, I think it was Stormblood. Anyway, regardless, but yeah.
Yeah, but I would like them to do more than just Nidhogg, but still. Not to say the animations aren't cool.
True.
Because like the dragon coming out of the ground was super
sick.
cool. Yeah. I just, maybe that could have been Vritra. Should have been Vritra.
This is my point. Is you have all of these other dragons to pull from, and they just refuse to do so.
Like, I don't know. But I don't know.
Asking for the evolution of jobs, man.
I've been asking for this for like 6 years.
How dare you ask for new stuff?
Matter of fact, I've probably been asking longer because I play fucking Bard.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, the Scholar one got me excited for a second just to realize, oh, it's Scholar. So it's nothing related to Alexander, probably, even though it looks so Alexander. So bummer. I guess that really just leaves the casters. Black Mage had some kind of lightning spell.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay. Yep. They already have a lightning spell.
I mean, their stuff's always like fire, ice, lightning, or
the 3 big elements, and then the non-elemental blast.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I couldn't make heads or tail of anything that came out of Black Mage, no matter what they did with it.
Facts.
Unless they did Ultima, I couldn't make heads or tail out of it. Because that class is so confusing to me. Or that job is so confusing to me.
But it's literally only 3 elements. What's so hard about it? What's hard about playing Black Mage is not fucking falling asleep. And you know I'm right about that.
No, I don't, because I haven't played it in ages. Because I can't make heads or tails.
So you are overestimating how much me and Matthew care about that job.
Mine's level 50, if that gives you any idea.
Okay, well, you care about it a lot less than I do. Fair enough.
It's probably the last job on my list of jobs to level before the healers. And even then I might level the healers before it.
Hey, so just fun.
Red Mage's animation was really cool. I really liked Red Mage's animation.
Yep.
The
VFX were beautiful.
Red Mage again, just like Black Mage though, is one of. It's not like I don't find it as confusing as I find Black Mage, but it's just like, man, it just takes a lot of brain power for me when it comes to playing Red Mage. 'Cause I'm like, I gotta keep the balance to a certain degree, and I gotta make sure I don't mess this up. And
How about brain power for me? I just find that class not very engaging. I don't find any of the casters terribly engaging. In fact, my favorite caster is probably White Mage.
Jesus.
I really, really love Red Mage thematically. I was really, really excited for Red Mage when it came out. It was probably my favorite job in Final Fantasy XI. That and Summoner. But it's just like the animations are super cool. It uses a rapier, which is super cool. Like thematically, it's super cool. I really, really love it. But it's just like the whole like balancing the like black and white mana thing is it's not difficult. I'm not saying it's difficult, but it just requires more focus than I want to give when I'm just kind of casually playing. If I'm playing seriously, sure, that's not a big deal. But a lot of times I'm playing in a very casual space, just having a good time. But even when I play casually, I like to do good. But I just don't feel like there's a do good and casual to that for me because I have to pay at least a significant amount of attention to some detail or another. Maybe I'm overestimating it. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be, and I'm just conflating the memories of it. Because it's been a bit, but regardless, I do very much like Red Mage. I do very much love its animations, and the new one is super sweet. I dig it.
Mhm.
It was what's his name? It was the
Are you talking about the cat boy?
It's the red hair from Yu Yu Hakusho. It was his Rosebud thing.
Kurama.
Kurama, yeah.
Kurama.
I'm so here for that. And then the Summoner animation. So
I blanked on this. I don't even think I remember seeing it, if I'm honest.
It's really quick. Like it is super quick. But there's not a lot immediately around it. So if you like frame by frame it, you can see the animation fairly well. But it is one of the animations that makes seeing whatever's happening with Monk tricky, to be fair. But I frame by framed it like several times, considering I play Summoner the most right now. And I realize what it most likely is some kind of Bahamut flare something or another.
Another
skill
one?
to go along with all the other Bahamut skills we have. That's most likely what it is. I'm not going to get my hopes up that it's anything else. But I will hold out hope because, well, that's what it most likely it is. It is very purple and lightning-esque in the like explosion
Don't get
of
your
it. And
hopes
there's like
up for Ramu. What are
He's
you
getting
doing?
his hopes up.
and there's like little lightning effects at the end of it. And there is no summon on the field when the animation goes off. So that could be like when you do a summon in the like you go through your Ifrit Garuda Titan thing. They come out, do their big attack, they go away, and then you do elemental thingies.
I mean, look, I certainly hope you're right, but I think you're right not to get your hopes up about that.
I
think
said
he's
I'm not getting my hopes
that
up.
copium, bro.
I'm not getting my hopes up, but I will hold out a little bit of hope because it was kind of lightning-esque and there was no summon on the field, so it's possible. Because when those three aren't doing their big attack, you have no summon on the field. In any other instance, you either have Bahamut, Phoenix, or Carbuncle out, but none of those three were out.
Question for you,
it was an in-between attack thing. Yes.
When Summoner was on the screen. Was Black Mage also with the team as
No.
well?
Nope. Because Black Mage was fighting a different enemy. Because it was literally the panned over where the Black Mage did its animation and then went past the Black Mage to the Summoner fighting something differently. But yeah, I was just like, ooh, that could be cool. That could be removed. And if we're getting removed, we might be getting more than just one of them. There might be more. But I'm not going to hold out hope for anything like that. Them actually doing what I said they should do for Summoner, impossible. Absolutely impossible. And just in case our listeners don't remember, or maybe I haven't said on the cast, what I have said they should do for Summoner going into Dawn Trail is in between Bahamut and your Phoenix phase, do Ifrit, Garuda, Titan, like you do now. But between your Phoenix and Bahamut phase, do remove Shiva, Leviathan.
I'm pretty sure you've mentioned this on...
I think so, but even still, it's a good time to bring it back up.
A good refresher. I think that's what they should do, because realistically, they don't actually change anything all of that much. They're just, instead of doing Ifrit, Garuda, Titan twice, you're doing it one time between the two, and then you just change the three when you do them between the two in a different order. So it's a very simple thing, but it also makes it feel like there's a lot more going on, and you're actually doing more of the summoning things, and you can summon more than just the same 3 things we've been summoning since A Realm Reborn. Just saying. And even then, back then, we weren't summoning them, we were evoking them. Now we're actually summoning them. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, they showed off Pictomancer and Viper stuff. The Pictomancer animations they showed, we'd already seen, because it was literally like the same animations they showed in the little Pictomancer action trailer thing that we got with its reveal. Like, nothing new there. Viper stuff goes so fast, I couldn't tell you if we'd seen it or not, but it all is just really flashy and cool.
Yeah. And they showed off the LB3.
But they did show the LB3 off, which was really cool. And I really like the like snake scale effect that's kind of like glowing around them when they're charging it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that looks really clean. I really like that. But yeah, other than that, that was the benchmark. So that was really, really kind of cool to watch. Didn't expect to get it when we got it, but we did, and it was kind of fun to frame by frame that and look for the interesting things going on in there. And apparently we're getting something next, like big information thing we get. I don't know if it's supposed to be the media tour or not, but the next big information thing we get is May 16th, I want to say, somebody said.
That's
so
probably
about a month.
Tour.
I mean, it's got to be coming soon at this point. We're so close to the end.
I mean, what? So it's the 28th?
2 months
the 28th of June. So when it comes out.
Is that the official release date or is that early access date?
That's early access date.
Yeah, because I remember hearing that Shadowbringers and Dawn Trail are coming out on the same day, more or less, which is July 2nd. Yes,
I think it's something like that. Yeah. All I know is it is like early access starts a week after Shadows of the Erdtree comes out.
Yes.
I'll give you 1 week.
One week to play and beat that game on New Game Plus 7. 1 week.
To be fair, Shadows of the Erdtree is probably not what I'll be doing on the 21st. So I'll be back in Guild Wars on Granblue because that's when the next Guild Wars is. And apparently their next Guild Wars on Granblue, they're doing a what is it? They're doing a outfit for the Dawn Show. So is it like a participation thing you can get or whatever? And I'm like, ooh, and the concept art that I saw, I'm assuming that's what it was, looked pretty cool. So I want it. Now, my 14 question for you both.
Yeah.
I have 2 of them. One of them's kind of specifically for Dalit, but I think Nat will have fun in the conversation with it.
Fun with 14?
Yeah.
Are you, bro? There's no such thing as fun in 14. What do you mean?
14 is nothing but fun.
Oh,
So the other question I have, which is in general, which we kind of talked about this the other day, when we were talking about benchmark stuff, like off recording.
right.
I've watched a lot of new players recently come into Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And try it out and play it because they have friends that play it, because someone talked them into it, or it's a streamer whose chat
streamer.
voted on them to play it, or whatever.
Sure.
Right.
And the thing that I've noticed is what most people that haven't stuck with it cannot make it through A Realm Reborn.
That would be it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the weakest link.
Absolutely.
Pretty much anytime any of them that made it past A Realm Reborn are in for the long haul, play through it, even if they don't stream it 24/7 if it's a streamer, but they do stick with playing it.
Right.
A Realm Reborn's the kicker here. That's what's really hard for people. Do y'all think there's anything else they can do to A Realm Reborn or the game in general to try and hold them in through that and get them in better? Because right now, A Realm Reborn is a very difficult wall to surmount for a lot of new players.
Yeah, A Realm Reborn, the Realm Reborn. That's what you do.
Okay, what does that even mean?
You remake the fucking A Realm Reborn MSQ and the optional stuff to make it more streamlined and hopefully a better experience for players in general. It doesn't have to be new players. It can also be old players as well.
I mean, they've already streamlined it once.
And yeah,
Apparently not
people still
enough.
bitch and complain, rightfully so.
That brings up a half decent point of just doing it again, but
Yeah,
better.
like
I think that's a
like, I mean,
lot of dev time, though.
sadly, it is, and you are correct, Dolid. But if they still have this mentality of bringing new players in, they need to fix A Realm Reborn again.
Well, here's the thing: they don't have this mentality of bringing new players in right now. Right now, from everything they've said, or at least from what I'm understanding, they're focusing on their current players and increasing the long-term fund for those players right now. So if there's anything they can do to help fix that A Realm Reborn wall, it needs to be something that's not huge in dev time. And that's the question. Like, is there anything they can do that's not A Realm Reborn to fix?
Yeah.
Combat
We could
system.
cut. I'm sorry, what was that?
The combat system, but go on, Dolid.
We could cut down the main scenario quest considerably, I think.
Agreed.
And this is probably going to be weird to some people, but I think if you could get the main scenario of A Realm Reborn to about 10 quests, you could probably make it so people will fly through pretty quick. And it gets around the issue we were having the other night of having to do this, that, and the other in dungeons. But my issue with the dungeons is less of a new player thing, because I genuinely don't think there's a problem with the way it is now for new players. I think the only issue with dungeons is faced by older players. So, in terms of getting through ARR, you would just have to speed it up. You just wholesale remove parts that are literally just fluff. And I'm sure people will come at me sideways and say that there isn't fluff. Like, it all leads to a greater overarching narrative of the area, of a subgroup of people in the story, and so on and so forth. But that's a bunch of bullshit. This is ARR. There is so much extraneous bullshit in that expansion, I guess, that...
I mean, it is 2.x, so technically it is an expansion, but also the base game at the same time, so, you know.
But so much of what's important to the world is revisited in subsequent expansions. So I genuinely don't mind glossing over ideas that new players probably won't really care to, like, fully take in at the time, in favor of getting them to a better story. Because if you're going to waste their time for 20, 30, 40 hours,
right?
the narrative has to be interesting.
But here's the thing, though, right? A Realm Reborn is the world builder, because I I really
Okay,
don't
hold
want to
on.
defend a Realm
Hold on.
Reborn.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of themes in Heaven's
how much
Ward,
actually
Stormblood,
gets built in a Realm Reborn?
quite a bit. I'm mostly
Mm.
talking about MSQ stuff, not like actual optional shit.
Well, then, yeah, but then my whole point is like we streamline that.
Yeah.
Like I,
So not get rid of it. That's what you're saying, but just like streamline the process of
Again,
like yeah, like
digesting
get rid of the actual quest, the actual moving from point A to point B, and you know, just elongate a couple cutscenes. Have a fade to black and a fade to black somewhere else, and then you cut out like half an hour of walking around and killing, I don't know, goats or something.
any of that like extraneous extra stuff that they do take out can always be kept in the form of just side quests.
Exactly.
It's not like it has to be deleted. So I mean, I get the idea definitely.
I mean, if you want my hardest take on this,
yeah, go on, do it.
I genuinely think they should just Mass Effect 2 this.
Ooh.
I do
Ooh.
not think you should be forced to play through a Realm Reborn anymore. But this is colored by the fact that I've already gone through it. So it stands to reason that I might be forgetting important aspects.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I also see
I
it.
don't know if I can like give that the thumbs up, because if you don't have that, I feel like if you don't have that start, it makes everything that follows miss something.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
agree. Because that's what I was bringing up beforehand, is that
maybe not Dawn Trail, but like everything up to Endwalker at least feels like it's kind of missing something if you don't have that beginning.
you do
Oh,
not
it'll
have
still
that
be there.
connection with
You'll just
Hyrule.
mostly read through it and make a bunch of decisions that
People
lead you
do
into
not
the.
want to read.
Well,
I
sure.
mean, there's
sure.
no
Well,
decisions
first
to
of
be
all,
made.
First of all, if
There's-
they don't want to read, there's no hope for them in this game anyway. Second of all, the stuff that would be covered in this would be voice acted anyway.
I mean, there's no decisions to be made, to be fair. So it would just be
The
do you
Warrior
watch
of Light
a
doesn't get a
cutscene?
character until Heaven's Word, and really doesn't get a character until Shadowbringers. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm playing the point of, say your ideas is the way like they go, right? There's no decisions to be made. So what you would be just getting is a cutscene that explains the story
Yeah.
of a Realm Reborn, essentially.
And moreover, to make this palatable for people who I know are like seething with anger at me right now, we give this away for free anyway. Just a friendly
Sure.
reminder, anyone who's considering this is probably also playing through the free trial.
Sure.
So it's not
True,
like you're
yeah.
making them pay for this.
And you don't have to make them do it. Make it an option.
Yeah, you can make it option. Do you want to play through ARR, or do you want to just be brought up to speed to get to the award-winning Heaven's Word expansion?
So I can see where like
the
dev
I said,
team
like
side of
Mass
things,
Effect 2.
Right, I can see where the dev team side of things wouldn't like this idea very much.
No,
right?
God, corporate would
yeah,
hate me
no.
for this too.
Yeah, it would just be, why overlook all our work? But it's one of those things, right? Like ARR is the wall to overcome, and the easiest way to overcome it is just give them a pass around it or through it or whatever.
The story has its moments, to be certain, but the gameplay surrounding it is not engaging. The quest structure is not engaging.
It's a very, very old school MMO.
Yeah,
and that's
it's a lot of
just not
go
what
here,
people want.
kill thing, come back. I'm gonna monologue at you.
Like, there's plenty of people I think that would really, really enjoy Final Fantasy XIV if they are able to make it into the meat of the story and the meat of the actual higher end gameplay. Like we were talking about earlier in joke, like, Sea Dog VA. Connor is about to play this game at least once just to say he did it because he said he'd do it if they raised so much money, right? I don't think he's going to stick with this game, really.
Absolutely fucking not.
No.
and I don't care. Like I said, I think that's just a fun joke, right? But I think he would actually potentially, because he did enjoy Final Fantasy 8 and 7's story. So I think he would very much enjoy the story of 14 if he were able to, experience and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I also think with, he likes doing challenging things in games, he would enjoy some of the challenging content in the game if he got to the point of playing it. These are things I think to be true, but I don't think he would make it that far because
he needs to go
all of
through
this stuff,
the fucking 100 quests post 2.0 into
yeah,
Heaven's
A
Word.
Realm Reborn being the biggest thing to stop him, and the other thing being time. Like a bit as busy as he is doing all of these charity things and wanting to play all these other games. As we've said, live service is a time sink and a half. So yeah, but I mean, he's a good example for what I'm getting at, I guess. So, like, and there's other people that I think would, really enjoy this game if they made it past that, right? And I do know plenty of people that, when they did make it past A Realm Reborn have said, oh, this game does get really good, or, oh, this is really good, when they get to those enjoyable later story moments or gameplay moments or whatever.
Happy to hear you say it, because my follow-up question to that would be, I wonder how many people that haven't played Final Fantasy are even interested in starting at this point. Because everyone I know
Very close to
has
zero.
either started or just has no interest in it, and it's not ARR holding them back. They're not gonna ever play this game either because it's Final Fantasy game or because it's MMO, something like that.
And I think that's kind of the thing. I think like that's why when I hear whoever say or whatever wherever I heard that the dev team is focusing on the existing players and not pulling in new players, I feel like that's probably the best call because they've attracted as many people as they're going to attract and gotten all these players as is. Focus on the people that are stuck around that are here or whatever. Yeah. I think the vast majority of people that are going to play it are playing it or have already given it a shot. That's not to account for newer generations of gamers that are still going to jump
they're
into
probably
this
gonna
later.
find this regardless. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So it's one of those things, but it is a wall that it
for
does
sure
exist.
For
and I think
sure.
most of the community realizes that. So it is one of those things. I was just curious what y'all's thoughts were.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you just need to find a way to get them to get their level up and just feed them the important bits via cutscene because it's a Final Fantasy game, hey.
Though I will say, doing that cutscene and dropping them in at 50 doesn't mean you're dropping them at 50 with a bunch of buttons at 50.
So I was trying to think and I couldn't, so I just said Heaven's Word. Is there a place after base ARR but before Heaven's Word that you can place them? And I'm pretty sure the answer there is no.
Yes, maybe.
I think I have an answer for that, and it might be... It's going to be really fucking awkward, but a certain point after 2.1, pretty much after helping Minfilia fucking move into a new house, or the start of 2.2.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Because that's when you start off with Mordona's Waking Sands? No, not Waking... Is it Waking Sands?
No, the Rising Stones.
Rising Stones, thank you. But yeah, pretty much...
I'm inclined to agree with that. Yeah, that's probably your best non-2.0 or 3.0 place to drop them, is basically after moving into the Rising Stones.
Yeah.
And doing that build-up to Heaven's Ward.
Mm-hmm.
That would still need to be streamlined a little bit.
Oh, I'll say even then,
a little bit of tedium.
That's not... I think that's not...
There, because there's still a decent bit of tedium in there. But then again, I don't know if the current streamline that they've already done may have actually fixed that. I haven't done that in a while. And I've never seen people make it that far. So
yeah, the patch cycles are notably smaller and shorter than the main expansion anyway. So it is entirely possible that just getting past 2.0 would be enough, because that gives them so much stuff to do to like build the muscle memory. It still does mean dropping them at 50, mind, because this is post all of the Garlean stuff.
Right.
The different castrums. But I genuinely don't even think it's that much of a problem.
But, saying, hey, I promise you it gets good, just get through these 40 hours of questing and then it gets really good,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to say, hey, it does get really good, I promise, just get through these 10 to 15 hours of questing. Not as bad. Still
Here,
a lot to
come,
ask,
introduce
but not
yourself
as
to
bad.
characters you'll cry about later. Come, follow me.
Yeah, come meet these characters that you're immediately going to lose and cry about.
But yeah, as someone who has recently done the new MSQ stuff because I made a OC character, yeah, bad news. 2.1 is still fucking in the game. Yay.
I feel like dropping them after the point of getting to the Rising Stones is a good chunk of tedium cut from 2.1. So that might help a little bit.
Just helping Minfilia move houses is what always just my mind goes to whenever we talk about a Realm Reborn. I'm just like, why the fuck is this in the game? Like, I understand, right? Going to the Rising Stones and all that, but like, fuck me. Why is it a quest? I don't understand.
It is one of those ones that I'm just like, man, what made them think that we really needed to do this as like a quest cycle? Why couldn't we just do like they ended up doing in the future with the expansions?
Or in a cutscene.
Just say,
or
hey,
something.
Just hey, we're based here now.
It
was literally as simple as that.
Right, post credit cutscene is your character Minfilia and the Scions just picking up boxes and fucking putting them in a caravan, and it's shipped off to Rising Stars. Boom, done. That's 2.1 in a fucking cutscene, and then we move on to 2.2 for the actual story.
And it does, it would help establish that we are friends with merchant caravans that would be willing to lend us a hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they do at the end of 2.x.
Yeah, exactly. In 2.55, I want to say. Yeah.
Hey,
2.1 does not need to exist.
Important question.
Ooh, important. Okay.
How far back do trusts go?
Trusts go all the way to the beginning up to current now.
Then I don't give a shit how many buttons I give them. They can figure it out with the trusts.
True.
I knew this. That thought has literally just hit me. I didn't even think to ask before.
So I knew this. I was just curious what you would say.
Huh. Yeah, no, that thought never struck me because I've never used trust.
So to elaborate a little bit, and to differentiate for anybody listening that doesn't understand, to explain, there is a difference. You have duty assists, which is basically trusts, but there is a little bit of a difference.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, duty assist though exists for everything that's main scenario from 2.0 all the way to current. So you never actually have to party with anyone unless you're doing something that's more than 4 man.
Right.
Which you do have to do in Heaven's Ward. Yeah, you have to do it in every expansion twice. But that's not too bad. And even by the time you get there to the point that Dalet's making, you will have time to use that duty assist to learn with the NPCs. Yeah, the NPCs that they'll give you to run it with. So, yeah.
The amount of times we've had this conversation, I completely blanked on this mechanic.
Yep, that was something they added over the Endwalker patch cycle. They started adding that from an earlier... They started from the beginning, and then with the patch cycle, they moved it closer and closer to where it was first introduced.
Yeah.
So that you can do it all the way through now. Yeah, so you, for the most part, can actually play 14 now as a completely single-player game for the most part, almost. Like, the only time you have to ever not is if you want to do any story that is tied to a raid, or the, in total, 6... No, it's a little more than 6. I'd say... So say about 15 times you have to do something. You have to do, like, some trials with people.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And they're not hard well, I mean, they are hard, quote unquote, trials, but they're not
they're classified
difficult.
that way, but they're
not difficult. for most new players, any of you that are potential new players and our listeners,
You'll be so strong.
like you'll be so strong, and even if you aren't, the people that you get thrown in with most likely will be, and it'll go pretty quick. Like the versions that you get thrown into are forgiving enough that, you know, mistakes happen and it'll still be cleared. Unless you somehow end up in a party of completely new players, which would be interesting.
That would be interesting, but it's what Duty Roulette is here for.
Yeah. Unless
want
that
my 300
somehow
plagues.
happened. Unless that somehow happened, you shouldn't struggle with it too bad. And even if you did, even if you're like those people like me when I was younger who were very afraid of social interaction, you don't have to talk to anyone. Just kind of follow what everybody else does. Yep, that's really it. Don't just go charging in there unless, you know, you're the tank. Just follow what everybody else does. You don't have to talk. If people talk or try to give directions, read it, see what they say. You don't have to respond. But if do as they say if it's the right thing, and that'll be response enough, right?
Yeah, and to get ahead of anyone making this complaint, if they really want to learn to do it, they will do it again and again until they understand. Or they'll make a party for themselves. But, like, I'm literally just arguing from a place of let them get through to a point in the story that is actually enticing.
Yeah. I feel like that dropping them in the middle of 2.1-ish is a good spot if they
I
did that
wouldn't say
like
middle.
complete.
I'd say the end of 2.1, but yeah.
Well, no, because because you still want to do the Leviathan stuff. The Leviathan stuff in 2.1 you still want to do.
Leviathan doesn't matter in long run.
No, but there are
is.
story beats in that do matter.
Um,
Meeting Yugiri and them does matter, and that is in that. So, yes, you want to. No, I know, not even just them. I'm pretty sure that's where you meet Elidibus is in that as well. So that matters as well. So you don't want to just skip 2.1, but you want to get them past that moving house section and put them in the middle of 2.1. You still want to do that because otherwise you won't have, even if you read through or watch this cutscene explaining 2.0, it still, you know, gives you a chance to develop a little bit of an attachment to characters in the story so that the hooks of Heaven's Ward actually mean a little bit more. Because again, as good of a story as Heaven's Ward is, if you don't have any kind of attachment or anything, those hooks might still fall short.
It's true.
So.
It's true. That's why they definitely should have like a write-up. And honestly, frankly, it should be voiceovered. Like they just do a series of cutscenes. Like let these folks go. Wow, but it's the old cast and they're not very good.
I mean, new players would never know about the old cast if they did this, essentially.
True.
Oh no, I guess if they did 2.x, if they did 2.x, they would. There'd be a bit
That
of
doesn't change until you meet Amaric.
There'd be a little bit of a disconnect, but not a big one. It's fine.
No, we all dealt with it pretty easily. The new cast was genuinely that much better. Everyone was like, "Yeah, no, this was the right call."
Yeah, I think but it's there's no like quote unquote right answer, I guess, because it's a tricky situation. And at the end of the day, like I said, right now the dev team is very focused on their existing and current players, and I think that's the right call. I agree.
Absolutely.
100%. But it's just, I am curious because, you know, there are people who, you know, may genuinely want to get into this game, but that is a very daunting thing to get through. And that is, I didn't have a problem with it, but I can see how people would not enjoy a Realm Reborn.
Right, yeah.
So I had a second 14 related question here. And that's more valid.
Yeah.
It's more targeted.
Yeah.
Don't you love it when I throw you out there like that, Dalit?
Yeah.
Wait, what was the second question?
We don't
I haven't
know
asked
yet.
you yet.
Oh.
So, Dalit, I'm going to call you out here in front of all of our listeners.
Oh, why would you do that? He didn't do anything.
No, yes, he did.
I might deserve this. I'll be honest. I just don't know yet.
It's not a bad call out, I don't think. But as much as you enjoy 14 and talk 14 shop with us, that's how that sentence was supposed to go.
Mhm.
You're talking about potentially not coming back to Dawn.
It's true. It's
What
true.
the fuck?
You might have heard in like everything I've
is
said, I've been super
absurd.
negative because I'm allowed to be now.
Yeah, we're old men.
Well, not even that. Like genuinely, I've been given an off ramp. I haven't played since 6.0. Shell will call me a liar in that and said I say I came back to do something which is technically true, but it wasn't. It wasn't get further in the story. Tell you what. Yeah, no, I was given an off ramp. I got to the end of the arc. And I think I was feeling a lot of what more jaded people in the 14 community were feeling. I play a class I don't particularly like. Well, that's not true. I play a class I find a lot of flaws with. I find a lot of the content I do to be samey. And because I wasn't challenging like the endgame anymore, it just kind of felt like I was paying $14 to not enjoy myself as much as I could. So
Oh my
I'm
God.
probably not going to re-up at the start of Daybreak. We'll see what happens if maybe I feel left out after a point and pop back in.
Aw.
But I'm going to be honest, after 2 years, how long has it been since
Yeah.
Endwalker? I finished
a year and a half.
Endwalker a year and a half. I finished Endwalker among the first in our group, and I never went back to continue the story.
So
I know about the secrets of the 12. I saw it. I saw how wonderful they all looked, and I still just went, don't care.
I
So-
mean, yeah, I don't blame you. It's the exact same fucking content loop over and over again. So you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's not their
Uh,
fault. I've just been doing this for 10 years.
I mean-
so
It's somewhat semi their fault because they didn't have a Eureka for this expansion, but you know that's just one.
let
that
me
wouldn't
tell you.
change anything
content
for
among-
him.
Yeah, but say that is
fucking-
just another point of, oh, it's the same thing again.
Yes, but that one's more newer. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
I mean, even
Tombstone grind.
even
is-
even if
yeah.
you know what you were saying is like 100% like the cause or whatever, it wouldn't change anything for Dalit specifically here.
Yeah, exactly.
but
And,
I-
Because
again,
he wouldn't engage with it a lot anyways.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
get my relic and move on and never go back to it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I've had 10 years of the same thing, and I appreciated them giving me finality before the end of the life of the game.
God,
So
Dalit is just like me for real. Because I'm also in the same mindset, but I'm actually gonna try and play it.
yeah, I know a lot of people are. I don't feel inclined to. I feel like I work so much. I have very limited time, and I don't want to pay a $14 tax to not play the game.
Right.
And just with everything that's been shown in Dawn Trail, no matter how good it looks, and it does look good, I was
It's
waiting
still
for
the same
something to
fucking
grab me and
content.
say, no, but this is what's bringing you back.
Yeah.
Now you're going to play this game. You're going to go through all of 6.1 to 6.55 just for this. And it never happened. The closest thing there is Echoes of Vana'diel.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that. Even though it's just gonna be another fucking
Oh.
24-man raid.
That's the issue. I'm like,
Yeah.
and as disappointed as I am to miss doing it, the only part about it that I genuinely care for, I can just watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
It just won't be with my character.
Yeah, no.
I'll get over it.
I agree with you. Like, cause even though the near raid kind of was semi
didn't
the
enjoy
right
that.
direction of like changing things up for the 24-man, right?
Was it
It-
actually? I guess because you had to do
Yeah.
more than just talk to someone. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
could actually
That's
like
true.
explore the
Yeah.
stages and all that. But like it's just stretching it out from 24-man raid to 24-man raid and then like 10 minutes of sightseeing.
Mm.
So, you know, I it's just going to be the same content loop, and you know,
And
it
again,
might be it might be fun for like the first month because new thing happened, but like once that month is gone, once the honeymoon's gone, it's like okay, I'm back on the grind,
well,
back
it's
on
not
the
even that.
cycle.
For me, it was a case of the story was keeping me going. I was
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
willing to
and
keep,
and
keep
now
going
it's
through
done.
for sake of, yeah, sake of the arc. But the arc's
Yeah,
over now.
yeah, but yeah,
And
yeah.
until I see something exciting in the game to bring me back in to push me through arc number 2,
hmm
I'm content to look from the outside.
I mean
It's going to
that's
make me a
fair,
lot less knowledgeable about what we talk about going forward. This is true.
right?
But it is what it is.
So can you guess my follow-up question?
What would they have to put in to bring me back?
Yes.
I have no idea. I would know it when I saw it, though.
Oh,
It's
that's
one of
such
those
a
things.
cheap answer. That's
No,
such a cheap
I
answer.
don't. I don't think it's
it
cheap.
is, but
I don't think so.
like so much of my
That's a non-answer.
It is a non-answer.
That's a cheap answer. That's the
he's not
definition of a
wrong.
cheap answer.
It's a non-answer because I don't know what they would have to do. So much of my excitement for the 14th story was wrapped up with Asians and Ancients and the Echo.
And yeah,
And now that's done. I don't care about the Golden City. I don't care about all of these other places that were talked about at the end of 6.0. I cared about what was happening up and through 6.0.
right.
Maybe if they do, they've already done like 8, and the only thing they'll do from 10, I'm terrified, is Blitzball.
Well, they
No,
have those little people.
Yeah, they have the
little
little guys from 10 and 10 2, the little NPC folk. I don't know. I'm not sure there is anything, like, unless I see a piece of writing that just grips me heart and soul. I don't know. My time might just be finished.
I understand and I agree with you, but I think I'm going to personally. I think I'm going to push on and see. But I
I think a lot of people will.
Yeah, but no, I absolutely agree with you, Dollar. It's like, what do we do from here? Like, what the new story hawk has to be. I don't want to say grandiose because we've technically already done grandiose with and Walker and Shadowbringer. You know, fucking planar, fucking traversing and all that shit, dimension traversing. What do you do from there?
I think if there was a meaningful adjustment to the battle system, or
That's not happening.
how content was moved through, I might be more open to it. But
So
things would have to suddenly become a lot more interesting and a lot less samey. Because I think, at this point, there's really nothing story-wise that I'm looking for. It would have to be, like, practical.
Gameplay.
It would have to be, like, you come in and, like, the game is fun and it feels brand new.
Right.
And I don't think we're going to get that on a 10-year-old game.
Yeah, no. So would you like to see Tomestones gone?
Oh, God, yes. I'm so tired of the
thank
grind.
God, I'm not the only one.
I think it's because I was raiding for so long, so I have no idea how you gate progress without the use of a currency. But I am so tired of that, and I think it's because I was having to treat it like a second job, despite how easy it was to get your tomestones every week.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you. The only way I could see them doing like another way of stopping your progress from just going into raiding via tomestone grinding is make end game dungeons gear actually worth the fuck. But that requires...
Oh God, the raiders would be so angry at you for that, though.
Yeah. But like that's what fucking WoW does, and that works to some degree without WoW having I'm talking classic WoW, I'm not talking about modern WoW. I don't know fucking modern WoW. But like that, because they don't do token systems, they don't do tomestones. It's you do a dungeon, you get a piece of gear, and that gear might be best for raiding.
I guess they could use the Criterion dungeons for that.
They gotta use Criterion Dungeons for something other than do it once and then complete and never do it again.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Criterion Dungeons could work, or just, the level 100s dungeons give pre-burst raid gear.
Yep. I'm sure they've thought about this because of the amount of people, especially at the end of Endwalker, that were leaving like I did, but leaving in a very angry way. Like, I'm just not sure. I saw plenty of people, however, who were just happy to exit, it seemed. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize we had reached that point yet, but fair enough.
I mean, at the end of the day, the 6.0, story arc cap point end was there for a reason, for people to have an exit, for, like you, to be able to walk away. I think HP even
said that.
Yeah, no, he did. So that's why it's there. It's why it is that way. For people, if they wanted to, leave, they had an exit. They had a door that, they didn't need to keep going.
Yeah.
So it existed for a reason. It existed for people like you who, saw their story arc through. I mean, so they had a door to walk through. I mean, it's there for that reason, yeah.
Now, that being said, though, I kind of wish the 6.0 cap, story cap, and level 100 were together, because it would make it feel more complete, in my opinion.
I never cared about.
Got a level 100 character. I finished the Realm Reborn story. I'm done.
No,
I'm
I never
out,
cared so much about the levels.
No, my dude. You finished the 1.0 story, because this story started at 1.0.
Technically true, yes.
Once I played like 2.0 and I recognized that 99 wasn't the cap, I was like, oh, okay, I no longer care about what levels are.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I was curious, like, if, you did know what might be the big hooking point. Are there any story elements? Are there no story elements of that they left open that don't drive your curiosity at any amount? That might be it. Because there's plenty of like story elements in the world that are still left open. Not like major story elements, but there's a lot.
I still want to see Mericidia.
I mean, yeah, like that's probably the big one, right? It's like it's a shame that during the course of this first arc, despite how often it was brought up, we never did anything in Mericidia. But Mericidia is just a place.
Yeah.
It's just a location that's going to be filled with a lot of the same markers, though obviously it'll be very different.
It'll be more draconic and cat girls.
I don't know. Maybe if this was in Mericidia and not the New World, I might have been more interested, but it's not like the New World wasn't brought up constantly since ARR.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of people who seem to think it wasn't.
Oh, really?
We'll put that out there.
Yeah, the New World has been a major talking point since forever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have said, "No, why
fucking read?" So
you are correct. They don't.
That's a
but it's
wild
there.
Stance to take. Wow,
hey,
I can't imagine thinking the New World. Oh, it's brand new. We've never heard about this before. The earliest time I can think of is Heavensward, but I know it was in ARR with maybe even Merlwyb.
Merlwyb.
Yeah.
Yep. It was in ARR with Merlwyb.
Now, was it 2.0 or was it 2.1? Because I want to
2.1 would be the first time I think it popped up in the main story at all. Right. But if you started in Limsa, I think you might have gotten something as well, maybe.
Yeah.
But even outside of that, I think it was mostly in a lot of side quests and stuff. But it's definitely been there since 2.0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, contrary to both of you, I'm in this boat of the same doesn't bother me, I don't.
Lucky you're.
I don't really need changes. Honestly,
no, for sure.
the game could be the same as it is perpetually going forward, and I would still be in this boat. I would still be in this game, because for me, it is just. I
guess I
just love this game.
This is Final Fantasy XIV, right? Like you're signing up knowing that you're going to get more of what you've loved up until now. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, I don't even like necessarily need another story arc. I'm just happy to just keep getting new places to explore and, fancy new job actions every now and then.
Right.
like as far as I'm concerned, we've done the big story. Everything from here is just we're adventurers adventuring and experiencing new things. We're now in the isekai power fantasy genre where we are the strongest thing.
Officially out after hearing that.
We are the strongest thing in this world. Now we're just out exploring this world.
And that's fine. It's
that's all I'm good with that. I don't need anything else really.
That's fine, but like eventually we're gonna have to fight a foe or a force that is world ending or multiple world ending, and it's like, okay, when is that gonna
Will
happen?
we? Most definitely it's gonna come to something like that. Do I need that? No.
I'm curious how they're going to do that from this point on. We've literally faced universal level threats.
Yes.
What do you possibly do now? I mean, you go small again, surely,
universal threat.
No.
Do the Doctor Strange thing.
Ultimately, the only thing I can think of, because we've kind of tackled and even cleared the void by the end of 6.x.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's not even really a thing they can pull from. Is because you can't really go outside of our world into the stars, because we kind of even covered that already. Though there are still some things they could probably do with that, to be fair.
That's what they're doing with the crafters and gatherers stuff.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the ends of the galaxy are literally like the ends of the galaxy. Anything can still be out there. Like, even though we saw in the story all those civilizations, out there that failed or whatever, doesn't mean there aren't more that are still in the process of failing and still could be a threat or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, you could do that. The most likely, like, big threat that they could pull that I can think of is something on another shard that is really big and bad, because those are slightly disconnected from us, starting to breach into the source and becoming a problem.
Right, but obviously their modus operandi is not to rejoin. It's just to conquer,
destroy, whatever. Yeah, I mean, think Mateus from Final Fantasy 2. When he saw, like, when they did his character arc so well in both, was it Strangers of Paradise and Opera Omnia.
Oh yeah.
When it was, he found a new world, what did he say? I'm gonna conquer it too and make it a part of my empire. That's it. And I mean, that you could have that from another shard. You could have a chain of destructive events like that were triggered on a shard and are starting to affect us, so we need to go fix that somehow, or protect us, or
fix it.
Yeah. So I mean, anything really, because I mean, rejoinings would be terrible for the shards, but now there's no threat of Zodiark coming back from a rejoining, because that's gone and done. Though, I mean, I guess you could say you could still use Zodiark, some smaller Zodiark side story threats, because technically pieces of him still exist, I suppose.
Now that you said that, and I just thought of something, because this is going to get into spoilers for 6.x, right? So spoilers everyone, by the way. Zeramus, right? Because he's just a single shard of Zodiac, right? That kind of that's very reminiscent of what Manus is in Dark Souls. So Manus is the father of the Abyss, right?
Please don't. When he dies, into this.
No, hold on. He shatters, right, into a couple of like soul crystals, right? And each soul crystal are actually women. I forgot what they're called, but like pretty much they're
the daughters of Manus, the various queens
from DS2. Queens, yes, sorry, thank you. They become queens. They're all Souls of Manus, you can do something similar with Zodiac, is having shards of Zodiac throughout world or other shards and all that.
I mean, yeah, you could take the story, you could take the Mateus story arc thing from Final Fantasy II and just say the person that is Mateus in 14, whatever they end up being, is just a Zodiac shard who wants to rule it all or whatever, or
Just,
find a way to
yeah.
bring back his main body somehow to do whatever Zodiac wanted to do. You could still use Zodiac as a threat technically, and because of that, but it would be like from a different angle of the Asians trying to rejoin everything, right? So I mean, that would to a certain extent that could be considered lazy, I guess.
I wouldn't say so, as long as they have their own personalities and that not all of them just go, "Oh, I'm a shard of Zodiac, therefore I want to do a rejoining." No, each shard or each character, each adversary has their own personality, their own goals, their own ambitions, yada yada.
But then what's
They
the
just
point of
happen
them
to be
being a shard of
Zodiac.
Zodiac?
Their power.
Yeah,
I
more
mean
or
that
less.
it'd just be a source for why they're as strong as they are.
Yeah, or
I
being
mean,
able to go through shards easier than pretty much what we're trying to do.
it would mostly just be for explaining story bits
Power
like that.
level.
My
Yeah.
whole
shit like
issue with that is
yeah.
like if they're not interested in the rejoining, there's almost no reason to make them a shard of Zodiac then.
Hey, it's just an idea I'm throwing out.
Again,
That's
like I
all
said,
I can really do.
it would be semi lazy to do it, but I mean it is an
I
option.
wouldn't say it's lazy, but yeah.
But like I said, I don't even need a big overarching story arc or whatever. Like I'm just here for the adventure. Like when they said at the end of 6.0, you get to go be an adventurer again. You get to go just adventure. I was like, I'm completely okay with this.
You may
I'm
not need
here.
it, but Square Enix does, and that's the main
I'm here for. I mean, yes, but I'm not talking about Square Enix. I'm talking about the perspective of one player, or maybe one faction of players, right? Like okay. I'm here for an adventure. That's why I signed up for this in the first place. I didn't sign up because of this amazing overarching story when I started, right? I'm not a 1.0 player. I didn't have this background story. I came in with this is a RPG. I'm here for whatever adventure ensues. I got this amazing overarching story that scaled 4 expansions. That was amazing beyond words. But I was here for just an adventure's sake, right? I was just here to have fun in an RPG, a fantasy RPG. So
right.
I'm good. I'm good. Like we're going to the new world. Cool. Is there a big overarching bad guy? Not that we know of right now. I'm fine. This is a new zone, new stuff to explore, new things to do. Is it play the same or do the same? Sure, don't care. I enjoy the combat, so it's fine with me. This is just me. Like I said, this is just my outlook. I figured I pried into y'all's outlook. I'll express mine. So it's just there as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm probably about as opposite of where Dalit is on this as you can get.
Wow, what about me?
Well, you're quite literally the middle ground, aren't you?
You are quite literally the middle ground because you are still you're still going to try. Whereas Dalit doesn't really have intention to try.
No, it's important that I say this. Just if there's one thing you take away from my not coming back, it's not out of malice. So many people have left this game angry and jaded. I am leaving this game happy and fulfilled.
Yeah. At no point would Dalit say this is a bad game.
No.
He enjoyed the game.
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
And he even said so himself. He may feel lonely and just come back so you can play with friends.
Pretty much.
For a couple. Yeah. So it's
Yeah. But I was curious and I wanted to put Dalit on the spot because it's fun to put Dalit on the spot.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate that.
What the fuck? God damn.
Look, I've told Dalit this 1,000 times, everybody. And now I'll put it in the podcast so it's here for the definition of friendship, all right? You fall down, you get hurt, a friend will pick you up and make sure you're all right. A best friend, a true friend, will pick you up and suplex you off the top rope.
It's true.
What the fuck?
It's that is friendship, everybody. That is friendship. And that's where we're going to end this episode, everybody, with the definition of friendship. Thank you, everybody, for listening. As always, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you enjoyed hearing us just, banter about 14 and, little tidbits of news that have been on the internet. We thank you all so much for listening. As always, say thank you, gents.
Thank you.
Thank you, gents.
Yeah, see, we're thankful.
We are, though. Genuinely.
We are. We really are. As always, do go follow us over on social media and spread the word. And we just appreciate you all. And we will see you all in the next one. And until next time, peace, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Be good now.